Amazon is reportedly coming after UPS and FedEx with its own delivery service.
SDSU marketing lecturer Steve Osinski joins us on the Kogo News Live Line. And Steve, Amazon is a major market disruptor. Are they about to take these guys out?
It's a pretty exciting time, LaDonna. It is an amazing event. Just like Amazon went into the grocery business, taking over Whole Foods, they're looking very, very closely, although they've been looking in this direction for quite some time, actually, at FedEx and UPS and the whole distribution system.
So they want to deliver packages, letters, things like that?
It's about controlling the customer and basically what the industry calls going to the last mile. Currently, most of Amazon's business is not in their numerous warehouses. Most of their business is held by third-party resellers that sell under the Amazon name to get distribution. Up to now, the Amazon resellers have been able to pick their own choice of which carrier would distribute the products, even though Amazon is middlemaning the whole process, so they would use UPS and FedEx. This is a better way for Amazon to grab hold of the distribution process and make things more efficient and also save money. Instead of paying the carriers, they pay themselves.
So what about the U.S. Postal Service? Because they've been struggling. They have got massive debt. Is there any way that Amazon will use them, or are they just out?
No, they're already being utilized part-time, and it's amazing. As a resident here in the North County, I tend to see more postal trucks over the weekends on Sundays delivering for Amazon than they are actually during the week at times. So the UPS will be continued. The U.S. Postal Service will be continued to be utilized. Amazon also uses private contractors. They call this Amazon Flex, and they just pay people to drive vans and deliver for them. So basically, their growth has continued so astronomically, they need as many distribution units as they can, and UPS and FedEx were taking a big chunk of it, billions of dollars worth, and now Amazon wants to go for that.
Okay, now here's the big question, though. Is Amazon stretching itself too thin?
You know, to date, they haven't. The good news is they keep going into new businesses and they keep succeeding at it. I guess only time will tell, but to be really candid with you, Amazon has a tremendous amount of surplus web servers, and they because of all the e-commerce going through the system, and they created a company called Amazon Web Services as a result of that, and now they're the fastest growing cloud-based web server company in the world. So they know their stuff.
Well, they definitely know their stuff, and it's going to be interesting. I mean, at some point, is there a little bit of concern about maybe some antitrust issues, considering how much of a market disruptor they are?
Well, it certainly can happen, and it has happened in the past. Most recently, really, when the telephone companies, what they used to call Ma Bell, were broken up in the 1980s for being too large and too much antitrust. The challenge really comes about, though, that Amazon is not just a domestic player, it's an international player, and it would be much more difficult to break up an international player on antitrust. I mean, they could pass antitrust legislation in the U.S., for example, but it might not carry overseas, so it gets a lot more complex.
All right, thank you very much for joining us, Steve. Steve Osinski, he's an SDSU marketing lecturer joining us on the Kogo News Live.